That's how much hatred they got to you. They rather
Yeah.
still show you hate and race, one side of racism, while they getting killed.
Come on.
They said, no, nigga, no, no,
You-
no, nigga,
No,
no.
no,
You
So
no.
gotta die.
that's
You
the
gotta
shit
die
show you
with
where
me.
we at.
Yeah, you're coming with me. And you see that again. Thank you,
Mm-hmm.
Tar, for bringing that up because did you see the lamestream media promote
Mm-hmm.
anything about that? Was
Nope.
it, or were they quiet like church masses as
It was
original
quiet.
people were fleeing and was scared and were being
Mm-hmm.
trapped and being, oh no, no, no. If you can just step aside, there's someone with pale skin that needs to come by and get on this train. You are
Right.
not leaving. You stay where you are. Yeah, man.
Exactly.
Look, look, look. They show us. They telling. These devils is telling. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean?
Mm-hmm.
Constantly, constantly. Now we spoke about the biodiversity of Burkina Faso, the
Mm-hmm.
gold, the magnesium, the copper. Let's not forget the limestone. Let's not forget the ingenuity and the talents which are at the moment totally untapped. We don't know what kind of knowledge and technology can be brought forth from this little nation.
Mm-hmm.
So watch the space, watch the space, watch how they make a fair exchange, which is isn't it a limited amount of time where Russia's got rights to the gold? Is it like a 7 year period or something like that?
8 years.
The 8 years.
8 years. Okay, all right. So that's a fair exchange, right? As Tar said, or was it you and
That was
100 plus years rights to minerals and stuff? Or what are we talking about?
Look at
right.
Where
this right here. Look at this is the resources. Gold is a major gold producer in Africa with significant gold deposit in various regions of the country. Manganese is a significant reserves of manganese primarily in the northern region, which is used in steel production and other
exactly?
industrial applications. Zinc,
Yeah.
phosphate, which is used in the manufacturing of fertilizers and other chemicals. They say they got copper, lead, nickel, silver, like you said, limestone, arable land, which is suitable for cultivating various crops,
Yeah.
cotton,
Yeah.
sorghum, maize, millet, cowpea, peanuts, rice, shea nuts, sesame, sugarcane. Oh, yo, I didn't know until I watched the interview. They make shea butter, natural
Yes. Yes.
shea butter.
It's nuts. It's not, and again, until you do the knowledge and you start to it's from there. And a lot of
Mm-hmm.
these again, look, you got these weirdos gluing themselves to flipping the roads, stop the oil. Let's get the electric
Mm-hmm.
cars and all that thing. Look, the world's gonna end. Hey, noon science don't mean nothing, boss, because the world is gonna end. We need to stop the oil. Let's get these electric cars. Let's get these electric cars. Let's boost the on the spectrum, Mr. Tesla man himself. Let's boost his ego up and his shares up. And let's all drive around in the little Tesla things or let's prop up China and let's get their interesting models, which are very high tech, but not put together with the greatest of care, should we say? Because if he was to do a rudimentary check on some of the incidents that are happening with these wonderful, cheap electric vehicles, we're seeing lots of problems, man. We're seeing issues. We're seeing things that are taking place that should not be taking place, but we're being pushed towards it. And then we're like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, so electric cars, okay, they're the flex now, they're the flex. Where do we get the electricity from? See, like one add one, one add one, right? People come up with 12 and 15 and all kind of stuff. It's a basic equation. Electricity doesn't come out the air like Nikolai Tesla had outside of his home with those various patents that he had. That it has to be created somewhere. So currently, we these crazy space monkeys. They're cutting down trees, siblings. They're cutting down virgin trees in Canada, in British Columbia, and
Mm-hmm.
they're chopping them up into pellets
Mm-hmm.
and they're putting them on huge tank. Well, before they even get to the tankers, they're going on big diesel trucks, HG, heavy goods vehicles to be sent to a port. Then it's a couple week voyage to the UK. Then again, the same process happens. They go to a power station, siblings, and they are burnt and a turbine goes around to create electricity. Huh? Does this make any sense? Does this make
Mm.
any logical sense to destroy the planet, to burn wood, to create electricity, to drive an electric car when the planet replenishes the oil,
Mm-hmm.
the lubrication for the planet, for Gaia? It's
Right.
never ending. It's never ending. So what are we talking about? Oil? Oil?
And that's her
Yeah.
blood. They need
Right.
that's taking that is wrong. That's what caused a lot more of her earthquakes because of that. Because just like the body, if you lose too much blood, it goes in the shock.
Come on.
So
Mm-hmm.
that's what that really is in these places. And we got somebody over there in Africa, which is his name is Maxwell Sangulani Chikumbutso. And he the one that invented electric car. Matter of fact, they saying Burkina Faso makes like 60,000 cars a year. And
Mm.
they not talking about how much the man done paid off. They was over like let me see what was hold on. What was Burkina Faso's debt to the IMF?
Well, the International Monetary Fund again.
Third they think he owed them $324 million and paid all that stuff off.
Wow.
What?
Yeah, he paid off the country's debt early this year.
Mm.
Proper. Thank you.
They got
Thank
no
you.
debt. It went from them making only I think 100 was $100 billion a year. The way he managed the money he make $400 billion now. That's how much money he saved because of what the other presidents was doing. So, like you said, that's why other countries try to give them money to get in debt because they know they're not going to handle the money right. So if I
This.
know I'm gonna come to you and say, "Oh, I'm gonna give your country $30 billion," but I know it's 40 of y'all corrupt and y'all gonna take y'all money off the top. The programs that y'all supposed to use it for are never gonna get done.
Yeah.
And in the contract, if you debunk on your on this paper or digital, I get hard assets. That's what
Yes.
Jamaica is going through right now. They pimping Jamaica doing the same thing.
Come on.
The Chinese then
Yeah.
took over the best parts that the
Yes.
Caucasians don't own, setting up toll booths and all that stuff.
Yes.
Jamaicans got to drive and the pay to
Mm.
go back and forth to the raggedy part
Yeah.
when they go into the good part. They oh man, if people understood, like you said, history and looking at the pattern, they would throw all their religions and their politicians in the garbage because
Mm.
those two go hand in hand, and they believe. And Christianity is the worst of the religions because no matter how much wrong an individual or group does, they always say, Jesus died so, for your sins. So you can forgive them for not giving you nothing. And you keep giving. The same way they did with that damn Marvin Sapp when he told us those church people, close the doors. Ushers, close the doors. I said, close the doors. And now he's looking crazy, talking about he getting death threats and all that. That happened last year, but this is what they are. Y'all are paying spiritual terrorists who
Mm.
told the dudes to close the doors. And there's ATMs inside the churches. Where's this coming from?
Come on.
Greed. But go ahead,
Mm.
I'm done.
For sure. Greed and the lack of, you know what it is as well. This relates to pretty much so much things that we discuss, siblings. The lack, the way that these beings have been able to be so magical and mystical in regards to the hypnotized
Mm-hmm.
minds of the people, that they're just so willing just to just forget all of their own responsibilities. Alexa, tell me what to do. Oh, okay, Noble. You need to go get up and you need to brush your teeth and have a bath and huh? People don't have any thought of their own thoughts anymore. And if they do think they've got their own thoughts, it's already been planted in their subconscious by the stupid, foolish social media that they consume. They don't realize, like, look when you're out and about, siblings, then. When you're out and about and you see people conversing, especially the women, let's focus specifically on women. Look at the hand signals. It's like they're gangbangers now with all the hand signs that they're throwing up. They're like it's they have become self-fulfilling robots.
Mm-hmm.
They literally, it's like Mimic. It's a blatant version of Mimic, but manifested, pardon self, in a 2025 sense. So everybody's the same. Everybody conducts themselves the same. No one's thinking individually. No one's thinking of the greater higher self. Everything is at its lowest of the low, and it's the most popular thing. It's the most popular time to be alive. This is the best time to be alive, gentlemen. We've got demon technology in the form of AI. We've got gal them out selling themselves on the internet. You know what I mean? And promoting it and flourishing like say A-Noot. Yeah. We got the nasty slap music that's going on, which is the mainstream. Nasty F3 is the mainstream. You've got the fashion sense of prostitutes, and that's fashion. Fashion is to dress like a prostitute if you're a woman.
Right.
This is how upside down the world has turned, but no one's pushing back of any notes. It's accept it. So
Mm-hmm.
2026 comes, sibling. We're blinking, you miss it. People are just going to be walking around naked. Yeah? That's the next flex with body arts. So rather than buying the clothes, you just spray your own little clothes on now. Yeah, man, that's the flex. And
Mm-hmm.
they will eat it. They will say, "Oh, please, sir, can I have some more? How much more degradation do you want? How much more suffering do you want? How much more misery do you want? Because they can give it to you. It's
Mm-hmm.
whether you want to accept it."
Yeah,
True.
what they want to do is a battle between, you know, I would say Tahuti and Osiris, they disagree when it comes to the flesh because Tahuti, outside of being writing, is into the medical and the body, and his influence is dealing with medicine. So he likes to keep the flesh doing what it's doing, whether it's transgenderism because
Mm,
Tahuti is a hermaphrodite. So
mm,
he's influenced all of this gender equality, and I'm a male today or a non-binary tomorrow. I'm gender fluid next week.
yeah,
That's Tahuti's flow. Osiris is pushing the AI and having people having attraction for sex dolls and
mm,
and technology and because technology is pretty much the opposite of flesh blood beings. There's no blood or nothing there, but they want to mix it, and they don't realize what's them boys like. All these super rich guys don't realize that they creating the AI and they want to go into transhumanism.
yeah,
Transhumanism is basically taking the consciousness and putting it to the computer.
yeah,
But what they don't realize is that we've been and everybody else been putting stuff into the computer too. Noone
Mm-hmm.
is in the computer.
hmm
Yep.
And the AI is going to know exactly who that is uploading itself. They think they're going to escape, but the AI going to get them.
Come on.
For the
Mm-hmm.
ones who don't get caught out here, the ones who go in the computer going to know exactly who and what they are. And
Mm-hmm.
so what they thought was they going to use to take everybody else out is going to take themselves out. But that's how deceptive works, even in the positive. It'll have you doing so much wrong, setting other people up. But when the cycle change, what you dug for somebody else is your own grave. And that's
Right.
really what they facing.
Mm-hmm.
It flows back. It comes back like a boomerang, right? Like if he was in the land down under.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. That's it. The underworld, the land down under.
That's really what it
That
is.
Osiris wrote that song right there. But I come from the land down under. Oh, yeah, we know. We know, bro. We know. Where women go and men plunder. We know,
Yeah.
we know y'all down there. We
Yeah.
hear the thunder.
Yeah.
You better run, you better take a walk. And we know all about that's Osiris wrote that.
Mm.
He wrote that hard. That was real. Sheesh.
Yeah, a lot of times we don't understand the spiritual war that we under. We looking at the physical aspect of things, but there's a lot more going on under in the and it's not really the underworld, it's the world that we just can't see.
The hidden.
Um
Mhm.
and I think I spoke about this last time I was on your platform where we only see literally 0.0035% of physical reality. So what our eyes actually see is only like 0.0035 of actual reality, which means 99.99% of reality we don't see at all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, which means that the world is governed by a force that we can't see, right? So a lot of times people think that that's God,
Hey,
right?
pause for a minute, sibling. Pause for one moment because for the new boots, they're gonna be like, they're gonna ingest what you've just said right there.
Okay.
Because they're just thinking, I mean, oh yeah, of course, animals can see a bit better than us, and obviously in the dark they can see, but they're not appreciating the levels of the hidden, which is all around us.
Mm-hmm. Right. So
They,
there is a hidden world, and we need somebody who is also hidden to reveal what's going on in the hidden world. And I'm not saying that because I want to prop up Noone or anything like that. But the one of the words that mean hidden in pantheism is a moon. A moon is the hidden one, right? So a moon is the one that does the workings on the other side of things in order to create the reality that we see. You understand? So the reason why I'm putting it in that kind of way is for us to understand that that hidden world is what they're working on. That's why they got CERN. That's why
yes.
they got the Large Hadron Collider and
Mhm.
all these different things. Is because the unseen world is being changed right before your eyes. You understand what I'm saying? The resurrection of the Christ that they're looking for is already here, right? But that resurrection doesn't happen in a way where it's like you're gonna see somebody bursting through the clouds,
Mhm.
right? Something is bursting through the clouds, but it's not Christ in the way that people is seeing it. So the reason why I'm even segueing into this type of understanding and this type of meaning is because I need people to really look at what's happening on the physical side to see what's happening on the spiritual side or the unseen side. And the reason why they created these large hadron colliders or these machines is because they understand that these particles, right? So these particles in mundane science is more or less like the what's it called again? It's cosmic, these cosmic rays, right? So cosmic rays, if you ever look it up, are not actually rays, they're actually particles,
Mhm.
right? And these cosmic particles, what they do is they seep into anywhere in the universe and it helps to resurrect wherever wherever it lands or wherever it chooses as far as its positive component to push forth what they want to push forth. Now, our DNA, the structure of the planet, these things have frequencies, and these frequencies it's attracted to. It's attracted to the frequency or the mind of the person's DNA or the planet or wherever it is. But it's specifically come from the center of the suns to begin with. So the reason why I'm saying that is because you're watching them combat these particles. These particles cannot be stopped, no matter these cosmic rays, no matter what they do. It can go through matter, it can go through the planet, it can go through suns. It's going to permeate the entire universe. So we're watching the Caucasian battle on a spiritual side because they know what's to come. The ones that are the high elite on the planet, they know what's to come. They know that there's gonna come a time where they're not gonna be able to rule anymore. In every major science, they've been told that they got 6,000 years, but as Tar put it, they really only had like 2,000 years, to really do their nasty work all the way up until what we're seeing today, right? So we as a people need to get into this spiritual war as well. We have to tap in. We have to get rid of the physical aspect that we're seeing. And I'm not saying to go out there, kill yourself, go out there and take a bunch of shrooms or anything like that. That's not what's gonna help with this. What's gonna help with this war is that we assimilate ourselves and we follow the right path, and we follow the path of understanding what is righteousness. So we have to put everything on a scale like our ancestors did with the weighing of the heart ceremony, and put everything on a scale. And we have to say, okay, on this scale, is capitalism beneficial or is it detrimental to who I am? Right? Looking at your personal life, you're like, man, what in the world is going on with capitalism? It doesn't educate my people and uplift my people in any kind of way. So I don't think capitalism is uplifting my people and allowing us to get to a place where we could be self-sufficient and really, become something other than what my boss is telling me to be. Oh, you're gonna be the best supervisor here. Oh, you're gonna be the best this. But yet you can't pass that supervisor position down to your family.
Yeah.
But your boss could pass this business on to his son. And now his son becomes your boss. You understand what I'm saying? So at no point in time can you outrank them. So I'm just saying that to the people out there to really understand that we have to come to a place where we are taking ownership and we are taking our race very seriously, and we're taking the subatomic world very seriously. You understand? So that means drinking clean water, putting ourselves in environments that are conducive to who we are. Whether if you want to put more plants around you, plants also help with the subatomic world as well. So we have to create the conditions that allow us to be in the position that we need to be. And right now, just to circle back, Ibrahim Traoré is a representation of some of those positive forces visiting him and allowing him to do the work in order to spearhead a campaign around the whole of Africa. So regardless of his age, I think that every African president should follow what he's doing and do the same as he's doing, which is to kick the colonial powers out and to allow Africa to become what they're supposed to be. And they also have an obligation to make sure that we, as the diasporans of the African diasporans, we have a safe way to come back
Yeah.
and be productive in Africa, and not for us to come and be little Caucasians, and we don't desire to be little Caucasians. We want to come and we want to be able to. There's enough land in Africa to fit all the diasporans back in Africa.
Come on.
With space, with room.
We got a lot of farming, a lot of places we can go as diasporans, and not every diasporan, not every diasporan should come back and look to take over. We're not looking to do that at all. We're just looking to provide service. We're just looking to create a better Africa and not allow the Caucasian to pillage and do what he's supposed to do. But that's just my spiel on it as far as the underworld and getting back to what we're supposed to be going.
You mentioned the sun, and it's very synchronistic. Hella synchronistic, because this article is dated the 23rd of April 2025. Gregorian year. Mail Online. experiments to dim the sun, dun, 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 in a bid
Wow.
to curb global warming will be approved by UK government in weeks. So this,
Wow.
so this is two things. This hits on two things. This hits on what you just spoke of,
Right.
and which we
Right.
built on many times, and Tar as well, regards that gamma radiation and all that there,
Uh-huh.
right? Now it hits that, but then it also hits the tinfoil hat people who have been talking for plenty time about chemtrails and then blocking the sun out and doing all kind of things. And lots of people say you guys are crazy. You're
Mm-hmm.
crazy. But what I will say is unless you live in the brains of the beast or you visited and you look up in the sky and you realize why Britain, the UK, is so damn grey, dull, and rainy, you realize pretty quick because every time you look up in the damn sky, there's a plane leaving these stupid lines everywhere, which then create these massive flipping whispery so-called clouds. Don't look like no cumulus nimbus clouds, nothing like that. These hazy lines and clouds, and then by the end of the day, you're just all over the damn sky. Zigzag patterns, chessboards, all kind of foolishness, and you just don't see no damn sun. So it takes a long time, but again, siblings, this is in the Mail Online. Yeah. They've been saying it on the news. There's been news segments about this, but your average sheeple, your average person who is just got their head in the sands, who's
Mm-hmm.
living vicariously through their favorite social media or influencer, this is in one ear and out the other. Yeah, man, it's global warming, man. I need to get my Tesla. It's only costing me £700 a month. Huh?
Right.
It's nuts. It's nuts. But again, they're telling, but you've got to have the eyes to see, the ears to hear, have the ability to want to know what's going on. Like so
Mm-hmm.
many people say, why? As we were children, you remember that we're around children quite a lot, and they always say, why? But why? But
well,
why?
let me take a shot at that because me and A-Noot had a conversation a little over a week ago. But I'm gonna say, I'm gonna put this first. Like, if you go on Wikipedia, they said that the chemtrail conspiracy theories began to circulate out the United States Air Force published a 1996 report about weather modification. In the late 1990s, the USAF was accused of spraying the U.S. population with mysterious substance from aircraft generating unusual contrail patterns. The theories were posted on internet forums by people including Richard Fink and William Thomas and were among many conspiracy theories popularized by late night radio host Art Bell starting in 1999 as the chemtrail conspiracy theory spread. Federal officials were flooded with angry calls and letters. So this has been going on with the chemtrails since the late 90s, and they claim it was supposed to be stuff for condensation for weather modification.
Mm,
But it's not that. Now, me and A-Noot was talking about 2 weeks ago about the electromagnetic spectrum and whether, well, how was NoopooH getting here? Was it through the gamma radiation or I was saying the infrared? So we had a conversation about that, and A-Noot was saying that he think that all that stuff was at one time combined, and then he had showed me a screenshot where it was going from cosmic rays all the way to what was the last one?
That's what was it microwaves?
Right,
Microwave is the lowest on the list.
right. So we was trying to figure how it was getting in here. So then we did some research and found out it was the cosmic rays. What he said it was not rays, but it was what the frequency
Particles.
particles. So we went back and forth on that for a little while, and then I did some of my own research, and I was like, okay, we know that NoopooH are brain newts energies. And we know that brain newts and noon are the highest forms of energy that exist. So I said, okay, what's the strongest energy in the universe? And that's when they said it was called the oh my God particle. And they found scientists, which I knew that was NoopooH, and Noone we call it magic particles. So the oh my God particle, they spotted it in 1990, but they waited a year studying it to make sure that they was believing what they was saying. And then in 91, they acknowledged it to the world. So we know that the particles come from outside our solar system and from our sun, but it's blocked by the magnetosphere and the magnetopoles and the upper atmosphere of the earth. So it seeps in little by little. So once they knew that and they figured it out, that's when I connected this together. This is why they want to block out the sun, because it's the particles they trying to block. It's not the sun, because you can't block the sun out with everybody not suffering from it.
Impossible. Right.
It's impossible. The particles is what they're blocking out, because it's not dense enough. It's not dense enough to become sunlight and all that, like 6 ether and stuff is. So NoopooH is all particles, which is the highest form of energy, high resonating energy. That's what the Caucasian said in his mundane science. But they already logged NoopooH in 1990, even though NoopooH been emanating from the universe since 1926 when Afro-Uno was born, but it took them 36 years to get strong enough to come through to tell him they was there. That's how long it took. 36 years. So once that happened, now NoopooH start emanating from the sun and all of the orbs too. So that took another 30-something years. That's why it give you the 60 plus something years, because that's how long it takes in sets of 30s. So now that we know what's going on, reading the knowledge, taking the terpene sulfur and all that, helps us able to rise our mind up high enough to receive of the particles. You see what I'm saying? So that's a whole nother subject, but I just wanted to throw that in there. Go ahead, A-Noot.
Amazing. The reason why I say that is because research is now showing where this guy, I think his name is, hold on, I'll tell you right now. Roger Penrose, I think is his name. Let me make sure that I got it right real quick. Yep, Roger Penrose. So what Roger Penrose, and I want y'all to Google him real quick. What Roger Penrose brought to the table was that he figured out that your mind, or how consciousness comes into play, is by using what you would call in the brain is called microtubules, right? So microtubules use subatomic particles in order to process information and to kick out conscious thought. So their thought process, or what they found in their research, and he got a Nobel Peace Prize for this as well, is that your brain processes information, and also your consciousness is linked to this subatomic particles being processed within the brain through what you would call the microtubules. So Roger Penrose and the other guy, I forgot his name. Hold on. There's Roger Penrose and the other guy. He was able to, and the crazy thing is, Roger Penrose is a mathematician. So why in the world is a mathematician giving this type of information? You know what I'm saying? But the other guy, I forgot his name. He's an anesthesiologist, right? Because for a lot of years,
how is that linked? That's another interesting one.
The reason why he got into it is because, you know, in anesthesiology, they give you, what's the thing that they do to put you to sleep?
I can't remember the name of the substance, but
I think it is anesthesia, ain't it?
Anesthesia, yeah, but there's I forgot what it's called.
No, there's the actual drug, the actual drug itself. I can't remember.
What they use to put you to sleep.
Yeah.
What is it called when doctors give a patient something to put them to sleep?
What is
Saying
anesthesia?
it's anesthesia.
Is that
Anesthesia.
what they call it?
Okay,
Okay.
shit. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
anesthesia.
All right. So the anesthesia that they give the people, they realize that it blocks a certain part of the brain so that you don't know that you're actually going through a surgery. Right. So you go to sleep and then you wake up. You don't know exactly what's going on. So what it does is it blocks memory and it blocks a certain part of the brain that processes consciousness. So you're not even consciously aware
Yeah.
of what's going on. So that goes to show you that when this other anesthesiologist and Roger Penrose had got together, because he confirmed that through the research that they were doing, right? So I'm bringing that up to basically tell you that the way that we think and the way that our brain processes information is through subatomic particles. And he proved this and won the Nobel Prize for that, right? So what we are saying now, right, is that there's certain subatomic particles that our brain is linked to that allows us to process information. And those brain newts is what your brain uses. And in Noone science, if you read, this is way before Roger Penrose, our brain uses these brain newts in order to melt down to cause conscious thought. Right? So if you are using a lower spectrum of these brain particles, what's going to happen is that you'll have lower thoughts, right? But what we're talking about is a higher spectrum of particles that are being given to the planet that allows the mind to resurrect in a way in which now you can have higher conscious thought.
Sibling. Just pause there for a moment.
Yeah.
What you just said there is just like that's you know what I mean? Like, whoa, let me just unpack this. Let me just unpack this. So what you're saying is it's basically like you are what you eat in essence.
Oh,
So
absolutely.
the photons coming in, that's the stuff that's coming in. If it's of a lower, let's just use a different phrase, a lower density, the
You use the
creativity and
perfect word. That's the perfect word, lower
yeah.
density. Yeah,
Okay, right. So that's now going to elicit a lower form of creativity or ideas that's going to be brought forth from that mind.
absolutely.
Shit,
And the
shit.
sun governs all of that.
Okay, stop there, stop there,
The,
stop there,
the
stop there.
sun.
Let me just
Hold
add
on.
one more. Let me add one more, Sydney. Let me just
Okay, go
add
ahead. Go
one
ahead.
more
I'm
thing.
sorry. Go
No,
ahead.
no, no, that's pardon self, because this is it's all lining up, man. Synchronicity at its finest.
Mhm.
Outdoor trials could conclude injecting aerosols into the atmosphere or brightening the clouds to reflect the sunshine. The
Mhm.
government's Advanced Research in an Invention Agency has set aside 50 million for projects which will be announced in the next coming weeks. Please continue.
Mhm. Yeah, that's essentially what we seeing is and what's the one that they call? Oh my goodness. There's one that tried to eat the sunlight in ancient mythology. I forgot which being it was, but that being tried to eat the sunlight.
You talking about Apophis,
Apophis, yes.
the APEP.
Apep. There you go.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes,
yeah, 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 yeah.
yes. I don't know why it wasn't coming to my mind, but yes, Apep is the one that tried to eliminate that. You know, we a lot of times they liken that more or less to like a solar eclipse,
Hmm.
right? So when the moon flashes in front of the sun, that's a solar eclipse, right? But these type of events are universal messages to those that are following the universe. The Caucasian follows everything about the universe. He follows the cycles.
Come on.
And the reason why he follows the cycles is because he needs to block things before they get here. You understand what I'm saying? He understands nature better than we do,
Because it's
right?
so far away from it. Yeah.
We are the ones that are lacking or behind what's taking place. Now, on the overall grand spectrum of things, he can't stop nothing, right? He can only prolong it for as long as he can.
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying? For as long as he can, and then on top, and then we are then forced to see and witness what we are supposed to see. So if not enough people resurrect their minds, what's eventually going to happen is there's going to be a grand scale of what you would call chaos, because chaos only happens when people are not in alignment as far as the mind is concerned, and they're not understanding what's taking place. So we're going to see a lot more chaos take place because the mind is not in alignment with nature. So whenever you see us talk about major catastrophic events, you don't see us talking in a way of, yo, I'm so scared, go buy 40 million bottles of water and keep it in your house or anything like that. Our minds automatically go towards preparation. We have to prepare for these events. That's part of the letter that I sent to Traoré too, is that there needs to be a urgency when it comes to preparation, because if you ever look at the Caucasian, he prepares too. We spoke about this before. He creates underground bunkers.
Come on,
he creates massive things because he knows what's to come. And they even named I think it's this year that it should be passing over Europe, Apophis. Either now or 2029. I forgot which year it was.
I think it's 2029.
2029? Okay, so Apophis is a meteor that's going to be passing over Europe like only by a couple of miles. I personally think it's going to hit the planet. They just not going to tell you yet. Until it gets really close, they're going to be like, oh, our math projections are off. It's really going to hit the planet.
Like that movie. What's that movie? Look Up in the Sky, whatever the hell it is. What's that one?
Yeah, Don't Look Up in the Sky. Don't look up. Yeah. That was pretty good too.
So essentially, that's what's gonna essentially happen. But I was just mentioning Roger Penrose and the other anesthesiologists, because we have to understand that everything that we think and do, our consciousness is based on a quantum level, and we have to create the pathways in our brain. How do you create the pathways? Whether it's just searching for knowledge, because that's how the pathway was created in my mind. It was created through a search for knowledge or seeking out the truth. The same thing was done with Noone when he was in the depths of in Dr. York's school, but he was also searching for knowledge. Mm-hmm. When you feel like you've reached the peak or the pinnacle in knowledge, then Noone is not going to find you. It only seeks out the people who are seeking more. If you are seeking more, you're seeking to reach a higher level of knowledge, Noone will find you. And that's what I've noticed within the similarities of our stories. It's only reaching out to those that are seeking more. When you feel like you've reached, like some Christians felt like, oh, this is it. You understand what I'm saying? But there's a higher level, right? And the brain newts are only going to seek those that seek more. You want to know more, you're going to keep doing the research. You're going to keep seeking more. And that's what Noone is there for. It's for those that seek more. So the like you said, the lower density is those that are not seeking higher information. The higher density is those that are seeking higher information and constantly in search and research for that type of information. I don't know if Tar want to add to that.
Yeah, I wanted to just add it a little bit, because I was looking up the guy you was talking about, and it's called orchestrated objective reduction. And it says, orchestrated objective reduction is a theory postulating that consciousness originates at the quantum level inside neurons. The mechanism is held to be a quantum process called objective reduction that is orchestrated by cellular structures called microtubules.
Tubules.
Right. It is proposed that the theory may be may answer the hard problems of consciousness and provides a mechanism for free will. The hypothesis was first put forward in the early 1990s by Nobel laureate for physics Roger Penrose and anesthesiologist Stuart
Hammeroff.
Hemmerroth.
That's what his name was. Stuart
Right.
Hammeroff.
The hypothesis combines, listen, this is what the stuff they had to study to get to that. It said the hypothesis combines approaches from molecular biology, neuroscience, pharmacology, philosophy, quantum information theory, and quantum gravity. While some other theories assert that consciousness emerges as the complexity of the computation performed by the cerebral neurons increases. ORCH or OR posits that consciousness is based on non-computable quantum processing performed by qubits, formed
Yes.
collectively on
Yeah,
cellular
qubits.
microtubules, a process significantly amplified in the neurons. And again, this is all these different things is part of the brain, and also, but the fact they put the word philosophy in there should tell you something. Because Noone is a philosophy. The
Yeah.
neurons, all that stuff is in the brain, and we talk about, like you said, the brain newts, which are they're the highest forms of matter, but they can't be detected by eyes or microscopes or nothing like
That's why
that.
it's called the quantum world.
Right,
Mhm.
because you
Meta.
can't see it. You can see the
Can't see it.
results of it, but
Mm.
you can't detect it. And that's what they, and this is how mankind, because their mind is trapped within three in space, three in matter, and three in time, they have to go through all these breakdowns because nature broke down itself. So it's not that we're saying that Caucasian people are not smart. It's that everything is following the cycle of nature. So by the time they came on the scene, things had already separated into so many forms, and they can't imagine anything where it was all compiled. When the Caucasian came on the scene, of course, in ancient Kemet and all that stuff was already put together in scrolls and hieroglyphs. It was broken down in many things. So even when they took the scrolls, you still had the hieroglyphs. And even when people couldn't read that anymore, you had other ways, like they're saying here, it just broken up into different philosophies and sciences that what they end up doing is finding out what we already knew thousands and thousands of years ago, which is more compact.
Mhm.
The Caucasian learns through separation and the way he compartmentalized all of his knowledge and how they get it. That's why when you look at it, it sounds crazy. Pharmacology, that's dealing with drugs.
Drugs. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Pharmacia.
So
But
it's
those
like, what you
drugs,
mean?
yeah,
But
those drugs go to the brain. So that's what they studying is the brain and the drugs,
right, that
how it affects it.
and right, and a lot of those dudes like to go overseas and take the ayahuasca
Yeah.
drinks and all that
Peyote.
psychedelics. That's how they got there. But
Yeah.
they'll say pharmacology, but we know that's a lot more than just the regular drugs they, like
Come
you
on.
said, experiment with to try to open up the brain. And remember they did that movie Endless, where the guy was taking
Yeah.
a pill and he
No,
was
limit,
smoked for
wasn't
like
it
a couple of days.
Limitless.
limitless?
Limitless.
Limitless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was crazy. So
Yeah.
and what happened is they found, and that's what I'm saying, the scientists also who mix occultism finds this information before modern science because they don't do all that. They take the long route. But so once regular scientists like this guy here finds this stuff out and combines with other people, because anesthesia is important because ghost is a mist, and ghost guard right along with religion and the cycle what it was in is sleepiness. Because it tells the BIE tell you that the African or Ethiopian is under a spell of sleep.
Yep.
So all that is a part of the anesthesia. Religion, they need to put that shit in there too. Because that's a part of it. But what happens is NoopooH is coming in from the outside of the planet and from within the planet itself. And this is why people like Traoré, who are upright already, regardless of religion, can still make proper decisions.
Exactly.
But it took 60 years. And he took power at 34.
Mhm.
So now he just turned 37. And that means every year he's gonna grow into a brainiac. Because looking at the stuff he accomplished in 3 years
Yeah,
is
man.
amazing in itself. And that's why they're afraid of us to leave us alone, how we built everything in America in a matter of time. I didn't know Lake Lanier, it was like 19 more of those that
Oh
they
my
put in
God.
the water.
Yeah,
I didn't know
sibling.
it was more than just Lake Lanier.
Yeah, sibling. There's loads, and listen. You think that's just isolate? Listen, you know what? Let me just bring some equality into this thing, boss. Let me bring some full equality. It wasn't just. It's not just black folk that done that too, man.
Right.
Listen, modern times in England, they've two towns in Wales and no more. They're underwater in reservoirs.
They
When the
tried to
re
do, and that's crazy you say that because they tried to do that with Hurricane Katrina.
Come on, come on. These people, they're wicked, man. The wicked as the day is long, right? So here's one that I didn't even know myself, right? Another potential solution is marine cloud brightening with in which ships would spray sea salt particles into the sky to enhance the reflectivity of low-lying clouds. I've never heard that technology before, siblings.
Yeah, I ain't hear about that one neither. This is news to me. This is dope.
Well, what's the purpose of that?
Yeah.
That that is so. Let me go back to the diagram. So that is so the sun lights rays will be reflected. If the clouds are brighter, more of the clouds of the sun rays slash light is reflected off rather than coming down and meeting its final destination, which will be us and the earth.
Mm.
Yeah,
So
they
it's
trying to. Yeah, they scared of the sun cycle because part of the sun cycle, the temperature rises. So
Come on.
that they afraid of that, but it's not going to help them because it's over, and they only thing they're going to be safe at the BIA biointerpretation says is in the crypts of Europe, and they
Come on.
use the word crypt. So those who are didn't make the mental changes with the cycle to do what's right because their mind is so negative, the energies is going to run them out. They won't be able to exist in the outside with other people energetically. They're gonna have to go underground with
Hence the
Ghost Guard.
but
yeah.
Ghost
but
Guard
that
gonna
part
have
of
fun.
part of them surviving is to try to race mix too. They
Oh
think
yeah, the
that,
graftation process. Come on, we know.
but they the reason why they doing that too is because they know that they in the bodies that they have, the physical bodies that they have, they're not going to be able to withstand certain energies that the planet is sending. So they understand that how reincarnation happens. This is why I said the Caucasian has a one up on us. You know what I'm saying? As far as, and that's why we need a new spirituality, because when you stuck in religion, you think you going to heaven, right? You not knowing that you're coming right back to the same place that you left. So the conditions that you create here now is the conditions you will come back to when you reincarnate, right? So the Caucasian knows this. He knows, like, yo, listen, if I die, I'm coming back here. So I gotta create a new body for myself, for when I come back. Right. And they know that this is done through lineage. They know the blood, they know everything. Like, yo, listen, if we could hitchhike a ride on the African, into the next cycle, that's what this is a very dynamic
Yeah,
spiritual
yeah,
warfare that's going on.
yeah.
Because they know that if they fuse the DNA with us,
yeah,
some kind of way they'll be able to get that
yeah.
body. That's why they got all these movies where they showing you they putting a soul into a new body and all
Come
kinds.
on, come on.
That's what we watching. Metaphysically, they trying to tell you we need bodies. You understand? But
You
the AI is not gonna allow them to have that. You can't put a human spirit inside of a mechanical body. They gonna try as hard as they can, but it ain't gonna happen.
Sibling, they've been trying since before this time, man. The homunculus, huh?
Mhm.
Come
Mhm.
on. They're not new under the damn sun.
Right.
Nothing. Listen, right? I know your time's precious, so let me as we wind down, let's
But I
switch.
got time.
Let's switch, right? Let's give them a little ski taste on
Mhm.
that blue, what is it called? The blue something, the little foolishness with the gal them, Katy Perry and the sister went up in the damn penis boat into space.
Oh,
Blue
the thing where it
Katy
was
Perry and
Jeff
Gail King.
Jeff
Blue
Bezos.
Origin, yeah, that madness, man. I mean, like just to set the table. Obviously, it was put out on news, but there wasn't that much of a big deal. But for non-trained astronauts, which normally take a number of years, and they normally have to go through like the G machine, so they can withstand and their body can get used to the G of liftoff and the thrust potential, etc. The physicality, the training that's going to be needed. We didn't see any of this. These seem like just some celebrities, quote unquote, I'm using air quotes, um, to go up into this rocket. And the filming and everything we saw was just very, very dubious, siblings. So, what do y'all think about this movie that was presented to us?
With that situation with the
Yeah,
blue oxygen.
yeah,
I I think they're trying to train the mind to help people to think that you could just go in outer space and that be it. I I don't subject to that theory that they're able to even go out of space. That's because we are connected to the planet.
yes.
We are we are of this planet. The same amount of water
Hmm.
that's on the planet is the same amount of water that's in our bodies. We
Hmm.
have the same proportionate scale as far as that's concerned. I look at it like when you move something out of the frequency or band frequency, like if you move like a Bluetooth, if you
Hmm.
go too far
Yeah,
away from the Bluetooth, it's gonna disconnect.
yes.
I look at it the same way as human beings in this planet. This is why when they keep talking about going to Mars, I think
Mars.
that's a huge distraction.
Yeah.
I think because there's no way that a human being who is born of this planet, meaning that every single thing that's in this planet is born of the planet,
Hmm.
which means that our physical bodies are made up and comprised of everything that's on the planet. We didn't come
Yes.
from a distant place, and then there's a new form of flesh, or whatever the case may be. This flesh, bone, everything that we see of this planet
Hmm.
is of this planet. So just like Bluetooth, if you take your body and go from this planet to another planet, you're gonna disconnect automatically, and then it's gonna probably send your brain into some kind of frenzy. You
Mm.
understand what I'm saying? So that's just my theory on that. As far as the young ladies going up there in space, I think it was just a show, a distraction.
Yeah.
Maybe we got to look at the news that day, because I don't know what's the purpose of going up there for 8 minutes and
Come on.
coming back down. So to me, and they use celebrities to do it, people who are gonna distract people from what's really going on. So they go, oh Gail went up there, oh Katy Perry went up there, or this person went up there. It's just a huge distraction for the mass audience. The same way how the Pope passed away, the Pope situation, that's another distraction, in my opinion. But it also, even though it is a distraction, it goes to show us that the moon cycle is over. You understand what I'm saying? When you start seeing certain figures dying out the way that they are, the Queen of England, she
Hmm.
died out, the Pope died out.
Mm.
You know, we're gonna start to see a lot of prominent people on their side starting to pass away or just disappear from off the scope. So don't be surprised if something happened to Trump. Don't be surprised if a couple of people from the IMF and them start just passing away, George Soros and them. So these are some of the people that run this cycle. You understand? From behind the scenes. So when we start seeing them start to lose their power, then we're gonna start to see some of us rise up. And Africa is already doing that. You understand what I'm saying? But as far as to go back to your blue origin thing, I think it's just a distraction. We just got to look deeper into why they put that distraction on that day, because to have a bunch of females go up there, that's metaphysical too. Because
Yes.
the woman represents the mental aspect of a race. If the women are distracted in that kind of way, then we could tell that we are distracted. So it's all symbolic, because we know that the origin ain't blue. The origin ain't blue, man. The origin is black. That's
Come
where
on.
everything come from. All colors come from black. I mean, that's all I gotta say about that. I really didn't look too much into that situation because I just passed it off as foolishness and distraction. So I don't know if Tar saw something different, but that's how I looked at it.
Not really, but I seen it was a guy following on Instagram. He had showed that whatever that it wasn't even a capsule. I don't whatever they was in.
Yeah.
It showed Katy Perry standing up talking, but he zoomed in
And showed
on the
that.
window,
Come on.
and you can see a dummy's hand like this in the window. So it was fake as far as that's concerned. Two, even if you go up out there for a certain amount of time, without nothing on, the radiation should have killed them.
Come on.
Just microwaved enough, they should have been a whole nother color. Because you can't go up there without protection. They know that Van Allen belt and all that stuff.
Come on, sibling.
It's over with after that. Now I did a reading on was human beings being taken to Mars and used as a slave colony because it was this God who was going around saying that some conspiracy theory guy. And so when I did the reading was like, nah, they was actually being taken to the underground
Yeah.
for ghost guard and spirit sacrifices. And that also that they can't. Number one, the orbs are bodies. In the same way, if you put some foreign in your body, the body's going to attack it.
Yeah.
So they can't go on them planets and land on there because it's going to attack them because they're foreign. Only thing they can do is send something there to look around.
The machines, right?
That's it. They can't go themselves. That's the big game that they're playing. Like A-Noot said, they only can visit, and that's only because I look to a certain extent, is Mars. And if they got the type of machinery that, like Afroon said, that high technology, regular joints, it's taking NASA and them 6 months to get there and 6 months to get back. But they got technology that they can get there quicker than that and come back. But they can't stay out there because the way space is made, it's like going into the ocean. That's not your environment.
Come on.
You're not finna survive out there like these movies be talking about. These. And another thing I'm gonna have to get a scientist to answer this. Whenever I watch Star Wars or Star Trek, and they ready to travel from one spot to the next, they hit that button and they hit warp speed.
Warp speed, come.
My thing is, it's no way y'all travel in a straight line and not hit no rocks and shit.
Come on.
How y'all flying and not hit nothing? Like, I never understood that. Y'all gotta hit something because there's no way y'all got the computer where y'all can track movement and motion. Like, it's just, I'm like, there's no way that works, but that's my thing on it. I don't, according to the reading, they got something that could take them out there, but they ain't landing on nothing. because
Yeah.
the planet is gonna treat them like a foreign entity. Same thing with the human body.
Mm.
You put something in there, your immune system is gonna get at it. It's not gonna let them. It's not gonna let them do that. It's not.
Then white
Yes,
blood cells are gonna start to attack, attack, attack.
Right.
right. Our environment allows us to breathe O2 oxygen.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Can't go to Mars and just breathe that oxygen, just whatever the atmosphere is like over there. Now, don't get me wrong. According to nature science, the beings that do live on that planet, they live under the surface. So
Hmm.
we haven't dug deep into Mars to really see who's there, because on Mars they do have pyramids on Mars.
Uh-huh.
They do have the faces of pharaohs on Mars.
Hmm.
Like, they've seen this. They've researched it. There's pharaohs on Mars. There's That goes to show you that they do have humanoids that live there. We didn't have pharaohs fly from here and then go to Mars.
Mm.
Absolutely not. That shows you that the sciences that these planets were following is the same science that we're following here on the planet. You understand? Now, they have a whole underground network, the same way how we have underground network in our planet as well, but it's not as vast as other planets because they have to learn to survive underground based upon the fact that we live in the what they will call the Goldilocks zone.
Yes.
So the Goldilocks zone just means that we can live on the surface and we can live below the ground. You
Hmm.
understand what I'm saying? And we in a sweet spot where cold and ice don't I'm sorry, cold and hot don't affect us in that kind of way in the extremities of some other planets. The extremities meaning like Mercury, for instance, is 900 degrees on the surface. No, they wouldn't be able to go on the surface, but under the surface, that's where you would see the humanoids. And that's what they're hiding from us. They're hiding that there's other humanoids on other planets, and
Hmm.
their technology have reached our planet. That's why they've been like, oh, where did this technology come from, or where did this come from? In my personal opinion, some of them asteroids are technologies from other planets, because they see that some asteroids hit into the planet, and when they look at it, it's a whole nother elemental composition. It's nothing from our planet. You understand what I'm saying? So a lot is still up for debate, but the thing that's not up for debate is they're not able to leave this planet
No,
at
they don't.
all.
Hmm.
At all. Like I told you, it's like a Bluetooth. If your Bluetooth get too far out of reach, that's
Yep.
it.
That's it. Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So everything that we watching is a show. It's a distraction. Why? Because the only thing that we supposed to be doing at this point in time is getting back closer to nature.
Yep.
It's the only thing. I don't care if your job wants you to go to work on Monday. I don't care if the Caucasian tell you the world is over tomorrow. No. What we're supposed to be doing is getting back into nature, getting back close to nature, which means eating the proper foods, reading the right information, and getting back into learning how to be in connection with the sun. That's the only thing I can say, or with all the orbs, rather, getting back into connection with all the orbs, whether it be the planet, the sun, or just or the moon, in a positive aspect. But yeah, so to answer your question, man, nah, they ain't getting off this planet at all.
Most
Ain't
definitely.
no Star Wars going on here.
Hell nah. Most
Yeah,
definitely. Siblings, listen, I'm gonna we're gonna have to do a part two. We're gonna have to do a part two, most definitely, as you
no
don't know.
problem.
I'm gonna cut this short still, but much appreciated for the time. I will make sure I will put the links below in the description and thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Um, any last words before we depart, siblings?
I'll go first. I just want to say, thank you to your audience. Thank you to everybody that tuned in. It's a lot more information and things that will be coming out. Um, I just want to also just warn everyone that just to be careful of what's going on in the world, because things are getting more deceptive, things are getting worse mentally, and to just protect yourself, to find, hopefully, I want people to give Noone a chance, just to allow their minds to become assimilated with Noone and to help it to make sense to you. But me and Tar will be coming out with more videos and things like that, really targeting Noone and allowing it to really, just flourish and go into the ethers and help to, inspire people in a positive way. I just want to send my um I want to say my positive reinforcement to Ibrahim Traoré and all the leaders in Africa that are looking to, have, some sort of liberation for their people and their country. Also, I want to invite them to give Noone a chance as well, if they are to stumble across this video, and to understand that there are Africans of the diaspora that are willing to come back and to help and to really put Africa back on the map where it belongs, as far as a superpower on the planet. And that's all I have to say, man. And true peace to everybody out there. I'm A-Noot, Boonoo, NoopooH, and I represent Noon Science, and I'm appreciative of this platform and any other platform that allows us to spread that message.
Yeah, I just wanted to say thank you to the hosts, Noble CFR Network. Glad that we made it
True
to
needs,
another
sibling.
show. Yeah, to do another great interview. My wife can't wait to get this. She's gonna chop it up. She always liked the raw videos. She like to put them up before I do. And I definitely want to extend my congratulations to the three black men of Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso, and even the I forgot the female that's just became the leader of Namibia.
And one in Kenya as well, right? Yeah, female
Um,
president.
I'm not sure, but I know in Namibia for sure. I
Okay.
have to look for that. I want to send true peace to Dr. Arikana, a true peace to Julius Malama, Wodi Maya.
Yes, sibling. Come
True
on.
peace to Wodi Maya. He went out to
Yes.
Burkina Faso
Yep.
and blew it up. Like, I was glad to see somebody I recognized in Burkina Faso that was supporting that, Ibrahim is doing exactly what he said he was. And he said that too. He let the people correct the false media. He say lying media. He don't say fake news. He say lying media. And all other people too. And also a special condolences to all of the people who lost their lives fighting for their descendants today in those countries. Excuse us to stand up. I want to say a true peace and thank you to the Russian army and the Chinese army who are there, as well as the Turks who are also contributing to the training and protection of Ibrahim Traoré and the other 7 countries that are there. He's been protected by 10 countries. I know it's Turkey is one, Russia is another one, China is one, and so is Korea. Korea sent some peoples too.
Okay.
Those are the 4 that I know of by name. The rest of them I don't know. So we definitely want to extend Noon to all of them, and hopefully they contact us and we can sit with them and help hammer out what is the repatriation plan for those of us who want to go back but don't want to go back starting over like we still in America. And that's one thing I didn't like that Ghana did with the 400-year return. They only wanted people to come back that had businesses and that's who the ones who was able to maintain and stay. You can't bring a bunch of people back the same way they let us out of slavery and just say, "All right, y'all free," and they had to figure out how to make it happen. It's the same thing now. You just say you can go back to a country, come on back. But I seen a lot of people was just complaining about how much stuff they had to pay for after you said we family and come back home.
Yeah.
You don't say come back home and then say, oh, you got to pay this. You can stay here, got a room for you, but you got to pay. So we got to change that reality. Like A-Noot even said in the conversation that whether any Caucasian become responsible for their part of reparations or not. Africa, the rulers that's standing up, like Ibrahim and the other two generals in other countries, they should definitely step forward and help us have a repatriation back. That'll be a part of the reparations and allow us to come and assimilate and help us start over like the other countries did when you setting up a colony and all of that. We need the same thing going back though. And I think that'll be a great step forward. So that's all I wanted to say in true peace to all who will see this video, Ethiopian and non-Ethiopian friends of our race. True peace.
I think Noble might have stepped out for a second. But yeah, no, that was beautifully put, man. Hopefully they see the video and
Yeah, I think so. I
able to
think because Traoré said he watched the YouTubes. He said he see a lot of videos out there. You got to because he know he got the world's attention, and naturally without just taking care of business at home, and that's how it's supposed to work. So I hope so. You back, Noble?
Yeah, man. Pardon self. I just had to take a real quick call, but yes, man. Give thanks, honors, and blessings, man. Jewels upon jewels upon jewels. Information is getting spread far and wide, man. Each one teach 12. Love, light, and guidance to the sibling out there, pushing the line, spreading the light, being that physical example. And let's see this ripple effect, man. Let's affect the change, man. We see the marches in JA, we see the marches in London. Not the biggest people turnout, you know what I mean? We don't see huge amounts of youth turning up to do this here, but we see the pockets, man. We see the real people coming out and showing solidarity. Financially, we got other nations, as you've highlighted, doing a thizzle wiggle. So yeah, man, I see my cup always overfloweth, siblings. So you know what I mean? We just gotta put the talk and the thought into action. Let those electrical impulses connect and do what it damn do. Links will be down in the description. Like, comment, subscribe, share, and all of those good things, mate. We out.
So yeah, man, when you get a chance, you know what it is. Just send me the raw footage.